I'm sure we've all had times when we found a flowering plant and we've not known what it is. Well, when I had that happen, I grabbed my favorite ID guide. The thing I like about this is it has a 3-step key that you follow to look up the flower. And so in order to do that, the first thing I looked at the flower. There's 4 parts to it. The next thing I looked at was how the leaves are arranged on the stem. They are arranged in what's called opposite branching. The leaves are not opposite, alternate. The leaves are not opposite of each other. They're more like a step. And then the leaves themselves are toothed. So by doing that, I was able to look it up, and I was able to find out that the plant was garlic mustard. Well, that rang a bell. I was pretty sure I had heard that before, and so I started doing some research. Well, first off, here's a little bit more about the plant. Garlic mustard is a biennial. During the first year, it's a basal of leaves. Basically, just like that. Next thing that I found out, the root has this characteristic bent to it. That's one way that you can tell. And crush the leaves. You smell that? It's got a garlicky smell to it. The leaves are pretty much heart-shaped, and if the conditions are right, it'll even stay green all year long. And during the second year, it shoots up. It gets to be normally 1 to 3 feet tall, but it can get up to 6 feet tall. And that's when it puts out the flowers. The root, like I said, has a bend to it, and it's self-pollinating. So each plant normally puts out between 400 and 500 seeds. Now, none of these have the seed pods yet. Otherwise, I'd show you one of them, but they're the typical ones that you find on anything in the mustard family. They're the long, skinny seed pod. If you don't get all the roots, it will resprout. It is allelopathic, which means it emits a chemical that prohibits other plants from growing near it, except for, of course, more garlic mustard. Garlic mustard is not native to this country. It was brought over from Europe by the settlers as a pot herb, and it escaped. I guess they just didn't do a good enough job of penning it up, or maybe they just didn't care. So, in many places, it's considered a noxious weed. So, let's look at its bad points. Garlic mustard can grow in both full shade and full sun and everywhere in between. It does need cold for the seeds to germinate, so it's more of a problem in the northern states in Canada than it is down south. Because of the number of seeds it produces, it's highly invasive. The seeds are spread by humans, wildlife, water, etc. It can displace native plants. Not only is it not really a source of food for wildlife, but it can crowd out plants that wildlife depends on. And since there are similar looking native plants, butterflies have been fooled into laying their eggs on garlic mustard. Then when the eggs hatch, the caterpillars have no food and will starve to death. That being said, garlic mustard also has its good points. It's easy to grow and can grow in both full shade and full sun and everything in between. Because of the number of seeds it produces, you can have a never-ending supply of it. All parts of the plants are edible by humans. In fact, if you go online and search, you'll find all kinds of recipes for garlic mustard. I didn't bother to post any of them. I figure if you're interested, you can do that yourself. It is high in vitamin A and C, fiber, beta-carotene, zinc, omega-3 fatty acids, manganese, and iron. It supposedly helps with high cholesterol, weight, and the heart, and it may prevent cancer. Now, like I said, all the parts of the plant are edible, though the older leaves are bitter. The root can be collected in the spring or fall when there's no flowers and can be used like horseradish. One website that I looked at said the only reason it's invasive is because it's underutilized, and that suggested that you forage for it in natural areas where it's become a problem. And that's why the name rang a bell for me. I know a nature area around here, they would love to have you come and do that. They have a cleanup day for the garlic mustard for people to come and pull it out. That's why I knew the name. They're trying to get rid of it because it is a problem there. So, there you have it. Garlic mustard. Is it a friend or is it a foe? You decide.